up here, Carly. What the f is going on?
This is some scary shit.
Hey, so I'm back with another video. It's been forever. I've been taking a break from making videos because I've just been going through a lot. So I'm finally back on track. And so in today's video, we are going to be watching creepy TikTok videos, and I'm alone at my parents' house, so that doesn't help either. So let's see how this goes.
It's a 100% true story that happened to a woman in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, there was this woman named Sherry who moved into this house with her 2 children in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, she said, at the time, she didn't believe in anything supernatural. She really thought that was a bunch of nonsense. But she said, right away when they moved in, she would notice, out of the corner of her eye, sometimes shadows moving across the walls. She would hear strange noises that she couldn't explain. But she said for the most part, it was just a normal house. One night, she's upstairs in her bedroom, and she's folding laundry. She hears talking coming from her son's room. So she makes her way over to his room, the door's closed, and she hears her son having a full-on conversation with someone. And she's like, who is he talking to, at 12:30 at night? So she
What do you even do in that situation? Like, do you let them, do you stand and listen just to hear what they're saying? Or do you interrupt? Like, what do? You just like that, jump in the room like, what the hell? That's my worst fear, because I check on my kids at night, and that's my worst fear, for anything to be bothering them. That's why I'm glad I know Jesus.
opens the door, and when she looks in his room, he is not in his bed. So she starts yelling for him. She looks down and sees him next to the side of his bed, on his knees, crouched down, with his head under the bed, talking to someone. And she's like, hey, who are you talking to? Who's under there? And her son's like, I can't tell you. And she said, what do you mean you can't tell me? Who's under the bed? And he's like, I can't say. He'll get mad. And she's like, what? Who's under there? So she runs over to the bed, and she looks underneath there. It's empty. There's nothing under there. So she's like, you know what? Just get back in bed. Just stop.
First of all, let's thank God it wasn't an intruder or something, because I think that's more scary than a spirit. That's horrifying. Somebody in the room with your kid, they broke into your house and they're talking to them, and then you look under the bed and see them. Ooh, so let's just thank God it's something paranormal, because in my opinion, that's not as bad.
Doing whatever you're doing. Several weeks pass, and on a regular basis, she keeps finding her son talking to someone under the bed, except there's no one there. So, after a few weeks of this happening, she thinks maybe something is wrong with her son. So, she takes him to this child therapist. The therapist, assesses him and says, he seems completely fine. It's probably just his imagination. So several months pass, and he keeps on doing this. Well, one day she's sitting down in the living room with him, and they're talking, when she notices he has some scratches and bruises all over his body. And she's like, where did you get those scratches and bruises from? What's going on? And he's like, I can't say, I can't tell you. And she's like, yes, you have to tell me, what is going on with you? And finally he breaks down and he starts crying and stuff, and he just starts freaking out. And then he runs up to his room. So the mom, at this time is like, I don't know what to do, what is going on with my son? She's just panicking. Later that night, she's awoken to her son screaming in his bedroom. She runs as fast as she can. She goes in his room. She finds him halfway underneath the bed. He's grabbing onto the bed frame. And
first of all, like, when those things were happening, why didn't you have your baby sleep in the bed with you? Like, if you're finding scratches and bruising, like, my child will be in the bed with me after that. Especially if you're a single mom. Like, come on now.
it looks like something is pulling him under the bed. So she immediately grabs him, pulls him out from under the bed. She looks under there, there's no one there. So she's like, you know what, this is weird. Like, you're sleeping with me tonight. You're going to be in bed with me tonight. So they go back to her bedroom. He lays down, he falls asleep. She's sitting in bed, she can't sleep. She's like freaked out about this whole situation. When all of a sudden she hears, shh, hey, come under the bed.
Oh, God.
And she's, what? She looks over.
Oh, my God. 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 What do you even do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Whew. That just like, oh, my gosh. That just messed with me. First of all, just run. Just take your child, get in the car, and leave. Don't even react. Just leave.
Her son is sleeping. But then once again she hears, hey, come here, under the bed. I need to talk to you. And it's like a man's voice.
Oh, God.
And she's like, no, who are you? Like, go away. And the man's like, come on, get under the bed. I need to tell you something. And like, she's like, no, I'm not going under the bed. And she said this man, whoever he was, just started yelling obscenities and getting really angry. So she grabs her son, they get out of the house, and she said she left that night and never went back. And still to this day, that house sits there. And she said she's talked to the neighbors, and they said since she's moved, like several families have lived there, and they move out immediately.
That is the scariest effing story ever. What? Oh my God, that is so horrifying. And to hear it as clear as day, like, oh my God. And I'm the type of person, I get scared. Like, I get frozen in fear. Like, I'm so scared to move because I'm scared like something worse is going to happen. But when you got your kid with you, you can't be like that. And, oh my God, Jesus. May this, Lord, oh my God.
Please get out of my apartment. Please get out of my apartment.
A man who she doesn't know suddenly appears in her apartment. He most likely walked in after seeing the door was unlocked. Now, while it's unsure if they caught him, viewers are completely baffled by something else in this video. Somehow, the door opens on its own right when Jeanette is heading towards it. In the heat of the moment, she didn't realize this until much later when, despite this terrifying encounter, nothing would prepare her for what occurred only a few nights later. As she writes, I have no words to explain this. While trying to record a cute video with her cat, this happens.
Oh my God. Like, and like I said, I'm alone at my parents' house. I'm already freaking out. And that is like my worst fear. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what I would do. Like, oh my God. happened. She heard some noises. I get that, but okay. Then just leave, I guess. I don't know.
This is the haunting story that inspired Sinners. Robert Johnson was a young man living on a plantation
Love that movie, by the way.
in rural Mississippi with dreams of becoming a musician. It's said that he walked to a crossroads and made a deal with the devil to improve his guitar playing. Because anyone who heard Robert Johnson play, and you can find some of his audio on YouTube, they all said he was extremely talented. Legend says he sold his soul to Satan, and others will say the African god Papa Legba. When you make a deal to the devil, he always comes back to collect. Robert Johnson got to experience some success, but it was short-lived. Robert Johnson died for reasons unknown at the age of 27, making him an inaugural member of the 27 Club. Selling your soul to the devil could also be a phrase from Southern conservatives who say that you are leaving the church and instead choosing to play music in dance halls where there is drinking and other kinds of sinning going on. Some other more logical theories are that Robert Johnson had syphilis or that he was poisoned for flirting with another man's wife. A fellow blues player, Honeyboy Edwards, claims to be witness to this poisoning. Honeyboy said Robert was offered a bottle of whiskey and he knocked it out of his hand, saying that he should never drink something that he hasn't seen opened, which is good advice. Instead, Robert got mad at him and accepted a second drink and fell ill hours later. A lot of his songs reference crossroads and the devil, and Ryan Coogler said on the Mike Muse show that these mythical references helped inspire the idea for Sinners. If you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts and follow for more.
That is super interesting. Let's listen to one of his songs, part of it, and I might have to speed it up because, of course, copyright and all that. I do not feel like that was worth selling your soul for. Like, you could have just learned how to play the guitar and sing. Like, that was not the best blues I've ever heard in my life. That's so sad, and he didn't even get to enjoy it. I'm sorry, there's somebody on the line. But yeah, he didn't even get to enjoy it. Like, that was so not worth it. Oh my God. It's not like you're like Michael Jackson level. I don't know what to say.
Hey, Dad, look at Carly.
Get up here, Carly! What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Get up here, Carly!
Okay, that was clearly fake, but good job because I'm creeped out. So I guess they accomplished what they needed to accomplish because the whole scenario is just scary as hell. That's obviously somebody they know, like her mom or somebody dressed up. But that would still be traumatizing, like for kids. Like, I would never dress up as something and try to like make a video with my kids because I feel like that would be scary and that would really bother them. But I guess the kids look okay, like they're, you know, in on it, and they, like, the sun looks completely calm, and I don't know. It just looks scary as hell, so yeah. I'm so scared. It's currently 1 in the morning. My boyfriend is at work. I just heard keys open. There ain't nobody here.
After about 15 minutes of talking to the camera, she hears something absolutely terrifying. The following footage shows why you should never answer a mimic that is...
Call the police? Like, don't sit there and record yourself. Call the police. At least you'll have some company.
trying to lure you out of the room. It's just never going to end well. Watch until the end.
Oh my God. My boyfriend is at work. I'm thinking he might come home early. I'm supposed to get up to the morning. After maybe like 5 minutes,
I don't hear him moving no more. So I'm like, damn, is he gonna come in the room? Like, you know, like me and the baby in the room. I know he didn't see the baby. I heard that shit clear as day. And there's nobody here but me and my son. Oh my God. Well, listen. Oh my God. I'm not gonna let you in. Boy, stop.
That might be the scare. Oh my God. Like, it could be fake because people make stuff all the time, but Jesus, oh God, I'm scared. Like, that really scared me so bad. My eyes are watering. I would call my dad and I would call the police because there's no way. Absolutely not. No, she didn't. She was moving entirely too slow, and then she forgot about the baby. Oh my God, Jesus.
About how when me and my mom went to New Orleans, how freaky that was. So my mom loves New Orleans. She even loves this creepy little hotel. To me, that junk got a lot of spirits in it too, but what place doesn't? So at this point, I said whatever. So we ended up staying at this hotel called my...
By the way, I'm going to New Orleans next month for a family reunion. Yep, my great-grandmother comes from there. So I'm a little nervous because I heard all the creepy stories, but this is why I'm including this in the video.
Son Dupuy. And when we stay in there, we feel stuff, but it's not as bad as the streets were when you went outside. So we waited until the nightlife started happening to go out and start having fun. So we go out probably around like 8-ish, maybe. And so once we get down, like out on the streets and whatever, we go to the store. I forgot the name of the store. But there was a sign in the window that said, "No pictures, please." And so my mom was just like, okay, so we can't go up in here taking no pictures. And we was like, no, we can't. And let's keep that in mind. But in the windows, there were like voodoo dolls and things like that. Now, I already didn't want to go in there because of the voodoo dolls. But my mom... It was something that she said she wanted out of. Oh, it was the shot glasses with New Orleans on it. So she wanted to bring some back for our family. So we were going there to grab those. But the sign that was in the window, people were ignoring that sign that said "Do not take pictures." So it's these two young girls, probably about 18 and 19 years old, and they're not following directions. The person that's working in the store walks over to them and she's like, "Please don't take any pictures." They're not listening. I guess they think that it's all for the thrill. I think that they think that sign is to make people scared, but I think that they're...
Yeah, it's nothing to play with. Like, voodoo and witchcraft stuff, it's nothing to play with. It's not a joke.
Genuinely letting them know if you take pictures, you're gonna go home with something. but they still didn't listen. So they're just clicking away, flashes on. They pretty much ignoring what this woman is saying, don't care. So the woman pretty much just shrugged it off and she went back over to, start bagging people's things and sending them on about their way. So me and my mom, like just looking at the girls, and then we turned away, we're like, they ain't listening. As soon as they snapped that photo, this girl dropped her phone and it cracked. Her friend was like, "Oh my God, your phone is broken." She was like, "It was something on my phone. It was something on my phone." That was part one. Part two, we jump to part two. We go on one of these little attractions where they show you around, you know, the city and where all these people used to live in all these older houses. So we get, you know, we do that. But those two girls were there. And they still not following directions. I can't remember what this person who was leading the attraction told them not to do, but I do remember how scared the girls were because they kept feeling somebody touching them, touching their neck, flicking their ear. And so I'm pretty sure that them same girls took that home with them because they weren't following directions. Not to mention, after that, the girls told me and my mom that they were going to that haunted cemetery. They're like, "Are you going? Baby, ain't no way hell we going there." Nah, you can forget about that.
Absolutely not. We will not be going to any like cemeteries or voodoo places, nothing like that. We might go on like a haunted tour. Me and my cousin, my brother, we might do that, but we're not going to play with any of that other stuff. And since I like to vlog, I'm going to be real careful about that too, because if it says don't like record or take pictures, I'm not going to do it. I'm not playing any games. Nope.
No one is home.
Nobody's home. And those f***ing bells. What's wrong, Petey? What's wrong? What do you see? You see something? You see something over here? I'm telling you, those bells, I heard them motherfuckers twice. What the f*** is going on? Petey! Petey!
That dog doesn't give a damn. Oh my God. He walked right towards it so calm. It's either he's playing like this is a prank video, it's not real, or like just the dogs just don't give a damn.
Petey! Petey, what's going on? The TV turned on. The f***ing TV turned on. Petey, let's go!
His voice is hilarious. Petey, Petey, Petey.
Go, Petey, go! Go out! Go out! Go out! Go! Go out! Go out! Go out! Go out! Go out! What the f*** is going on? What the f*** is going on? What the f*** is going on? It turned off. It turned off. Lucy, Bentley, let's go. Bentley, get out. Let's go. Tiberius, let's go. Get the f*** out. Get the f*** out. Get the f*** out. Let's go. Tiberius.
How many dogs do you have, and why do they have such weird names?
Lucy. Oh my God. Charlie, let's go. Come on. Come on, who's home? Come on, who's home? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Come on, team! No one is home.
Those dogs do not give two F's. Like, they do not care at all. Like, I would have to leave them. Like, I'm leaving them. The ones that come out and listen, they get to get saved. But the other ones, they don't care, so they get to stay. I'm not about to die for them.
Mas que pode? Não importamos.
Why I look like the donkey is standing up on his hind legs at first. Oh my Jesus.
Sinceramente, eu não tô acreditando nisso que eu tô vendo. Sinceramente, eu não tô acreditando.
Hello?
porch door kind of does that. If I don't like shut it all the way, it will like blow open. And then sometimes my bedroom door will do that because of a reaction from the wind downstairs. It's like a suction. And it freaks me out every time. And my dog, he barely reacts. That apartment looks like it's expensive, and it would suck to like deal with that on top of paying expensive rent. Like you at this point.
I'm gonna try this for the second time because when I recorded the first time, it was no audio recorded. But now I'm just gonna speed it up. This is what happened when the ghost followed me home from New Orleans. When we were leaving New Orleans and we were all in the car, I felt that there was a man with me, and I told everybody in the car there was a man with us, and we all did our own little separate prayers to try to get him to go ahead and stay where he was at, and he couldn't come with us, right? Of course, sometimes it doesn't always work depending on the people that you're around and all that.
And guess what? It wasn't a man, it was a demon. Yeah. So get that idea out of your head. It's not a person, it's a demon you're dealing with.
So I get back to Atlanta. About 3-4 days after that, things start moving around in my house, okay? One, I started realizing that there's somebody peeking around corners in here, like this. And I would see shit like this. So after seeing that a lot, I started to acknowledge the spirit, like, who are you? What do you want? Get out, you know? And then it started touching stuff in here. So this was me and my girlfriend was going through this where we would be sitting somewhere alone and things start moving around in the house. There was...
You hear the fire alarm in the back. Oh, why are we like this?
A time where I was sitting over here on this couch, and all the way across the room over here, I saw my shoes slowly lean and fall off of something. There was a different time I was sitting right here on the couch, and you see that bag over there? That bag is hooked onto some clips. It unhooked itself and fell to the floor. Dead silent in here. I'm chilling, sitting on the couch by myself, and I just had to look up and be like, stop touching shit, right? So this is the ongoing thing for about a week and a half in my house. It was like things were moving around. They didn't have no business moving around. And I talked to my girlfriend about it. She had been seeing something walking around the house. Things had been moving around, and she had felt something poke her. Now, this is when I knew that it was getting serious. I could feel him, and I could see things about him in my mind's eye. I could see what he looked like. I could see about how old he was. I could see what his energy was like. I could see what he was wearing. So I was starting to get a feel and an idea for him and like why he was around. Wasn't a bad guy at all, kind of like a guy that like died young in his early 20s, and I was just the only light that he could see in that area, so he followed me all the way home. But I was laying in the room, right? I went to go take a nap. My girlfriend told me, like, go ahead, take a nap. So I went in the room to take a nap. She was out here in the kitchen, where I'm currently at. I'm in the bedroom, on the end of the bed, taking a nap, right? Laid underneath of like this extra little blanket or whatever, just laying on the end of the bed. I felt her walk into the room, and you know, you can kind of hear the air change or whatever, like when somebody's coming close to you. I felt her and heard her walk into the room, and it felt like she walked into the room, looked at me, noticed I was asleep, and then touched my head and gave me a kiss and walked out. Now, when she walked in, when I heard her walk in the room, I woke up. My eyes was closed, but I woke up. I thought she was going to ask me something. So I woke up, and I felt the fingertips touch the back of my head, and I felt my head kind of get this weird little tingle on the inside, and I felt it really, really light. And I turned directly around, and the room was empty. It's I said, oh, okay. Came out here and noticed she was in the kitchen. Told her what happened as soon as it happened, right? So after that, I honestly sat here one day when he started moving shit around again and fucking with the lights, like he was making the lights flicker and stuff. So I told him that he had to leave. But the thing about me is I don't just like banish spirits to go and haunt somebody else. I send you on your way. So I called in my angels and my spirit guides and my ancestors to come in and help this guy move on if he was willing to do so. And he was willing to do so. He just didn't know where to go or how to do it. So we helped him. He moved on. He's gone. My house is clean. That was the spirit I brought with me from New Orleans. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this experience. If you went to New Orleans and brought something back with you, if you're from New Orleans, if you've ever been haunted, if you're a medium, whatever, let me know in the comments.
She don't know no better. There's still spirits there. They're just not doing anything. So I pray that she gets healed and protected in the name of Jesus, because she doesn't know any better. So, yeah.
What's wrong with you? You don't even know what I'm going through. This ride's over. Get out! Some service.
That's why I can't be no Uber driver. People are so crazy. Like, oh my God. Like, seriously, really? Stupid. One of the stupid videos.
Whenever they tell y'all to take heed when y'all go to New Orleans and watch out what you're doing, it's not a joke and you should really listen. I've had something happen to me about 5 years ago that I have been very hesitant to speak on because it's quite scary and it really happened and it really mind boggles me that it actually happened. Just a disclaimer, I am very Christian. I believe in God to the fullest and I worship Him with everything. So this story does have a little bit of demonic things going into it, but I myself am not. This is just things that have happened to me and I'm just sharing my experiences. So about 5 years ago, we had a hurricane here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is where I'm from. And during the hurricane, my home's destroyed, all that. So we were living in New Orleans in hotels until FEMA trailers were provided, homes were fixed, things like that. So I was in New Orleans from about...
And that's when demons are really like running rapid, when like natural disasters or just disasters in general strike. They're just going crazy.
Beginning of September to the end of November. While I was there, a lot of paranormal, highly spiritual, highly demonic things happened. It all started, and I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, this is crazy, why would you have even done that? Mind you, I was 19 at the time. I didn't know no better. I was out there with my friends. I didn't have no family out there. My friends were my family, and we were really just exploring, having fun, trying to make the best of our time while we were there. And I was also not as close to God as I am now as I was then. So we went to Marie Laveau's voodoo shop that is on Bourbon Street. When we walked in, I felt a little off. I was already kind of scared to go in there. It was not my initial idea to go in. It's just that we were with a group of people and they kind of went in. I kind of was like very hesitant because I knew a lot about voodoo already. I do have an auntie who passed, but she used to practice voodoo, and I heard a lot of stories about her growing up. So I was just overall very fearful, but I still went inside because I was like, really, what's the worst that can happen? I'm just going in here. So we're looking around, all the things. That I try not to touch anything, y'all, because I don't know the power of anything, that anything holds in there. I knew that everything was used for dark magic, and I wasn't trying to touch it. So I didn't touch anything. But I did end up coming across the altar that they have in there. I did go by the altar, and I did look at it for a while. I did not leave an offering, and I did not touch it. I know that it said that you're supposed to leave an offering, supposed to leave something, but I know for sure you're not supposed to touch it, and I did not touch it, y'all. I didn't. But I am going to say, after we left that voodoo shop, everything went downhill for me. And it was weird because even though we were all there, I swear I don't think anyone else that was with me experienced what I experienced but me. I'm going to come back in part 2, and I'm going to get into details about all the things that happened, because y'all, we might be here for a minute.
I'm going to leave it at that, but yeah. We'll definitely not be going to no voodoo stores or shops or whatever you want to call it, because it's just, you're just going into enemy territory, and yeah, you just don't do it. But like she said, she was young, so I'm glad that she's okay. She's clearly okay. But you can see her TikTok, so you can go if you are interested.
Hey y'all, here's your haunted story. Okay, don't come looking for me or nothing. So when me and my brother were younger, we used to get volunteered a lot for things that we didn't want to do. My mom would volunteer our services a lot. So one day she was around her child.
That is the worst. Oh my God.
Little friend, and I heard her say, we weren't listening to them for real, but all of a sudden we heard my mom say, yeah, the kids can help you. Me and my brother both looked, and we was like, well, what? And she was like, help her clean her house out. So we're like, oh, okay, when she said clean her house, we thinking maybe she just needed help getting behind the furniture, deep cleaning, moving things around heavy, heavy things that she can't really do because she's older. Wasn't old,
I would have been pissed.
But at that time, I think my mom was in her early or late 40s. She was in her late 40s. But, so older, but not old. So we're like, okay, she probably just can't do it herself. So my mom, she dropped us off with masks, gloves, everything we needed. We're going to this woman's house. My mom grew up with this woman. We went to this woman's house. And as soon as we got in there, we could barely get past the door because that's how much stuff was in that house. Okay, it was like a hoarding.
There's something about the older generation that love to hoard. They are hoarders. Even if they're doing it on a smaller scale. They just love to collect little stupid items and put it on a shelf. It's so irritating. And I think that's why a lot of us are minimalists. A lot of the newer generation. Because we just grew up with all that. And it's just, it's irritating.
House. Not as bad as those, but definitely bad. So we started moving things immediately. Started throwing things right on in that dumpster that woman had rented. And we started just tossing. Now, my brother is really nonchalant. He doesn't let things bother him the way I let things bother me. So he was like, I'm feeling sick. I said, yeah, me too. I said, I don't feel good. And so then he's just like, he said, let's finish up and then we'll go down the street and go to that McDonald's. So we finished up a little bit, went down the street to the McDonald's for a break. Once we were done, we came back to this woman's house, and when we got back in there, my brother was just like, he said, Jay, look. We both look over. It's a woman. Very pretty lady, but angry. And so when we saw that, we was just like, oh, okay. But the spirit wasn't the only thing that was angry. The woman whose house we were cleaning, all of a sudden she was being nasty towards us, and we were just like, okay, she wasn't acting like that before. Like, she was acting like a true jerk. Okay, real big jerk. So my brother was just like, he said, well, just ignore her. He said, let's just finish this stuff out so we can call mama to come get us. We go down the basement because she told us she had a lot of stuff down there too, which she wanted to, to throw in the dumpster. So we go down the basement. As soon as we go down there, we see this real dark entity, but it's like moving about real fast. Don't want to stop. So we just grabbed the stuff and we going up the stairs, but it grabbed my ankle. And I was like, I said, he got my ankle. My brother was like, okay, now. He said, hey, we got work to do. We my brother, like I said.
They are a little too chill for my liking. Like, you're just going to tell us an angry spirit that, oh, we got work to do. That's it? That's your reaction?
Nonchalant. He don't care who you are. He's like, hey, we trying to get out of here, so leave us alone. Let go of my ankle. We go up the stairs. But as soon as we go up the stairs, we notice that the darkness in the house and the anger in the house is coming directly from that entity. And so we called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, like, did you notice she had all this stuff in here? And she was just like, what? She got a ton of stuff? I was like, yeah. I'm like a hoarder's house. She was like, you kidding? So she's like, I'm on my way. So my mom gets there, and she looks around the house, and she said her friend's name, and she was like so sad. She said, you didn't tell us that it was this bad. We could have got more help. And so her friend is just like, I didn't want, anybody to see me living like this. I'm embarrassed. So my mom was like, okay, I can understand that. So my mom saw the woman, the female spirit, and she starts asking questions. She says, so who, somebody passed away here? She's like, my sister did. She passed away back there in the bedroom. But then me and my brother told her about the dark one that was in the basement. So my mom was just like, take me to the basement. Took her to the basement. And when she went down there, she was like, that darkness is down there because of all this stuff that you have in this house. She said, they love when it's real dirty or crowded in a house because it's almost like they can hide behind those things. So me and my brother was like, so if your house dirty.
And not only that, I just want to add that evil spirits attach to people that are broken inside and have turmoil inside. And one thing about hoarders is they make their environment look like what it looks like on the inside. Just turmoil and chaos, and demons thrive in that environment.
They attached to it? She said, yeah. She said, why do you think we always moving our furniture around or cleaning? She said, because they get attached to filth. They love filth. They thrive in it. She said, so when it's filthy and it's a ton of stuff laying around, she said they attach to it, and they can really thrive in those kind of environments. And they just, they just like, okay, I'm chilling. This is my little space. This is my area. Me and my brother was like, what? So keep in mind. So after that, after my mom identified like the bad entity in the basement and whatever, we noticed that it got more active. And when it got active, it got real active. My mother even stayed to help us, finish cleaning it up so that she could, help the woman bless the house after. When I tell y'all that thing was angry that we were moving that stuff, because it just was bouncing left, right, going back and forth. Okay, trying to hide, but it couldn't hide in the filth anymore because the basement started to get cleared out. And once that basement got cleared out, my mama blessed it down there. Okay, I don't understand why they like filth so much, but they do. And I guess that's where that saying comes in, that cleanliness is next to godliness. Because, baby, when I tell you, there was no more entity there after my mom was done cleaning that house, after we deep cleaned everything, threw everything out. It wasn't even there anymore. And that spirit that we saw, that woman's sister that passed away in that house, She was there, but she didn't seem angry anymore. Y'all better clean your house.
And again, I just want to add that demons, 100% everything that you saw in the house, including the sister, was a demon. It was pretending to be her. That's what it was. But yeah, and bless them for helping her. Hurting is like one of my pet peeves. I hate that. Like, you're dealing with that on your own, and I'm not about to be around your demons and your filth. Like, but bless them for helping that lady. Maybe she was in there and just sad and full of turmoil. There's somebody, for everybody to like help, and that's one thing I have to change about myself. Like, don't be like, full of mess and drama. Like, I will literally distance myself away from it because I don't want it to affect me. And maybe that's selfish, I don't know. But yeah, that's an interesting story. Okay, so that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really enjoyed it because a lot of those videos, like a couple of them I've seen beforehand, but most of them I didn't. I just like saw that it was a scary story and just hurry up and downloaded it to my phone or screen recorded it. And so this was a genuine, like, really fun experience for me. I really enjoy scary stories or just like hauntings and stuff like that. And like I said, going to New Orleans next month, and I'm excited about it. We're gonna do a little bit of the like haunted like tours, but we're not gonna like mess with anything that's like voodoo related. At least I'm not. And I heard Annabelle is there. Definitely won't be going to see her. I don't play that. So yeah. So please like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. I'm definitely gonna be posting more, and have a great day. Bye.